Good afternoon, professors. Today, our group would like to present about the financial analysis of ICHITAN Group's public company limited. Our analysis is divided into two main parts. The first part will look at the company financial ratios from 2021 to 2024, focusing on liquidity, leverage, efficiency, and profitability. And the second part will evaluate an investment decision using the capital budgeting tool such as WACC, NPV, and IRR. And now I would like to start with the company background. So, ICHITAN Group is one of the Thailand leading beverage companies. It is very well known for the products like ready-to-drink green tea, fruit juice, and also other OEM beverage products. During the past 4 years, the company has gone through noticeable change in its business structure and has improved its profitability. And to understand ICHITAN's financial performance, we were looking at the key ratio. We mainly want to see how the company manages its short-term obligation, how much debt it uses, and how stable its financial position is over time. In order to calculate the ratios, we will use the financial data from SET financial statement summaries and ICHITAN annual reports for 2021 to 2024. And moving to liquidity ratio, I will start with the current ratio. So the ratio stayed above 2 for all 4 years, showing that ICHITAN always had enough current assets to cover its short-term liability. Although the ratio slightly decreased in 2022, but it starts to rise again in 2023 and continue improving in 2024. The increase to 2.68 suggests that the company became better at managing its working capital. And for the quick ratios, the trend is also quite strong. It's increased from 1.74 in 2021 to over 2 in 2023 and 2024. Even though there were a small dip in 2024, the quick ratio is still high at 2.12, meaning that the company can easily pay a short-term obligations even without relying on inventory. Overall, this shows a very strong liquidity. Next is leverage ratios. For the debt to equities ratios, it's gradually increased from 0.15 in 2021 to 0.24 in 2024. Even though it's rising, the level is still quite low. This means that the company may mainly use the shareholders' equities and does not depend much on borrowing. The small increase could be due to expansion on your investment, but overall, the financial risk is still remain low. And the debt to asset ratio also increased slightly from 0.13 to 0.19 across the 4 years. This shows that the companies took on more liabilities, but only in a small proportion compared to the total asset. A debt ratios under 0.3 is generally considered safe, showing that ICHITAN has a strong financial foundation. And next, Mr. Pete will explain about the efficiency ratio.
And next is efficiency ratio. That will be a total asset turnover and equity turnover. Let's start with the total asset turnover. This ratio shows how much revenue ICHITAN generates from every baht invested in it or its asset, from factory and machinery to inventory and receivable. In 2021, ratio was 0.74, meaning for each baht in asset, the company earns 0.74 baht in revenue. By 2024, this jumped to 1.22, 65% improvement. But why does this matter? Is mean ICHITAN revenue growth has outpaced asset growth. The company isn't just spending more on equipment or inventory to grow sales, instead it's squeezing more productivity from exceeding results. Moving on to the equity turnover. While asset turnover look at all results, equity turnover focuses on how effectively shareholder capital is used to generate the sale. In 2021, equity turnover was 0.85. In 2024, it's raised sharply to 1.52, which is 79% increase. This tells us that ICHITAN is not only using its physical and financial assets wisely, but also leveraging shareholder funds with great efficiency. The company is reinvesting profits strategically and using equity to grow without excessive borrowing or diluting the ownership. Now we will moving on to see how it turned into a profit. And next is the profitability. There will be a net profit margin and return on equity. Net profit margin show what percentage of revenue become a net profit. It improved from 10.5% in 2021 to 15.2% in 2024. This means ICHITAN retained 15.2 baht of profit for every 100 baht of revenue in 2024 compared to only 10.5 baht in 2021. This improvement is driven by economy of scale, spreading fixed costs over higher sales volume, cost control initiative, managing production and administrative and marketing expense, and product mix shift toward higher margin items like premium green tea and fruit juice. And next is the return on equity. For the return on equity is perhaps the most telling metric for the shareholder. Return on equity surged from 8.8% to 22.6% in 2024, more than doubling in just 3 years, and return on equity of 22.6% is more exceptionally strong, especially in the competitive beverage sector, and it signals that ICHITAN is creating substantial value for its shareholder by generating high return on their invested capital. And then we will be moving on to the overall analysis. And that is the overall analysis. For the overall analysis, bringing it all together, ICHITAN financial story from 2021 to 2024 is one of the consistent, balanced, and sustainable improvements. First is the liquidity ratio remains strong with the current and quick ratio well above 2, ensuring short-term stability. And for the leverage ratio, stay low and manageable with a debt to equity ratio up only to 0.24, giving the company financial flexibility. And for the efficiency ratio, improved markedly, reflecting better assets and quick equity utilization. And profitability ratio so with a net margin and return on equity reaching multi-year high. And financially, ICHITAN in an enviable position. It had a strong liquidity, low debt, improving efficiency, and raising profitability. This combination provides a solid foundation for the future investment and growth. And next is a financial recommendation for 2025. To advance the ICHITAN strong financial in 2025, we propose 4 focus initiatives. For number 1 is improve working capital efficiency, streamline inventory and accessory receivables to enhance the cash availability for reinvestment. For number 2 is expand into a new market and the product, leverage brand strength to target regional growth and introduce premium and health-focused beverage line. Number 3 is strategically utilize low debt capacity. With a low debt to equity ratio of 0.24, fund high potential project in automation and digital marketing. For number 4 is invest in technology and operational excellence, upgrade production system and strengthen branding to sustain competitiveness and profitable growth. Implementing these recommendations will reinforce ICHITAN market position and support long-term value creation. Next, we move to the capital budgeting, how ICHITAN decided on long-term investment using tools like NPV and IRR. And to do this, we first look at the ICHITAN 2024 financial strength. They have over 7 billion in assets and maintain a strong equity base of 5.7 billion. Their debt is very low with a debt to equity ratio of only 0.24 and a net cash position. And this means ICHITAN cost of capital is largely driven by the cost of equity, not the debt. So to evaluate any new project, we must first determine what return shareholders expect, and that is our weighted average cost of capital.
So now let's move on to the project evaluation result. The proposed project requires an initial investment of 55.5 million Thai baht. The project cash flow are expected over 7 years based on the data provided. To assess the project performance, I calculate the company weighted average cost of capital or WACC using ICHITAN 2020 for financial data from its one report. the weighted average cost of capital was estimated at approximately 9%, combining the cost of equity at 10.6%, the after-tax cost of debt at 4% weighs according to the company capital structure. Using this 9% as the required rate of return, I calculate the net present value and the internal rate of return. In the early 6-year calculation, the project show an internal rate of return of around 8%, which was below the weighted average cost of capital, resulting in the negative NPV. On the sensitivity analysis, this sensitivity analysis is further supporting this finding. It shows that project remain profitable with discount rate up to 10.9%. When the discount rate rise above this level, the net present value become negative, marking the project break-even point. Therefore, this project is financially feasible under the normal condition. In addition to the financial result, there are also non-financial benefits. This includes the market expansion, land enhancement, and long-term strategic gain, all of which can strengthen ICHITAN's competitive position in the beverage market. Finally, let's look at the project decision and conclusion. After reviewing the full 7-year cash flow, the financial outlook for the project has changed compared with the early 6-year estimate. Previously, the IRR was around 8% below the ICHITAN cost of capital of 9%, so the project did not meet the financial requirement. However, when all the 7 years of inflow are included, the project IRR increased to about 10.9%, while the NPV become positive at 4.96 million baht. Because this return is above the company weighted average cost of capital of 9%, the investment does create shareholder value. Therefore, if we updating the conclusion point, one would now change. The project would be accept, not reject, because it meets the financial criteria for profitability. Point 2 will become offices. The project does create value under the financial analysis. At the same time, ICHITAN should still consider the strategic long-term qualitative benefit listed on the slide. Beyond the number, this investment support goals such as a market expansion, brand strength, and operational growth. This non-financial gain further justify taking to the project forward. In summary, based on the colleagues' 7-year evaluation, ICHITAN project is both financially viable and strategically beneficial, and is recommended for implementation. So thank you for your attention. This concludes my presentation on ICHITAN Group Capital Budgeting Analysis and Project Evaluation. Thank you.